All right. Well, welcome to your pose of the week. For this week, we are focusing on the Sphinx pose. So, this pose shows up a lot in our back class, but you may see it in our hips class that we use sometimes as a reset pose in between other hip poses. So, let's go ahead and get on into it, and I will show you some modifications that you can use as you are practicing your Sphinx pose. So start out laying down on your belly. Your legs are going to be about hips width apart, and your forearms, you're going to lift up onto your forearms, and they're going to be parallel to the edges of the mat. You're going to find your shoulder width. This is where you want your elbows to be. And the way to do that, I'll show you the trick. You just hold on to opposite elbows, wiggle your elbows out until they're at your shoulder width. And without moving anything else, you're just going to kind of springboard your forearms forward and land on the mat. So now you found your shoulder width for your pose. Is what we want. All right. Fingers are spread, forearms parallel to the edge of the mat. Legs are about hips width apart. Just relax your legs. And you're essentially going to drag your chest forward and lift the chest up. Gaze can be forward, or if you're holding here for the 5 minutes that we sometimes do, it's okay to kind of let your head just drop. Close your eyes and breathe here. So here's your Sphinx pose. There's a couple things I want you to stay tuned into. Sometimes as we're melting into the pose, you'll feel the chest start to drop. The chest will drop, the shoulders come up. Every so often, just keep checking in, tuning in. If the chest is lifted, dragging forward, shoulders roll back, down and away from the ears. So maybe you're here and you're starting to feel it in the lower back where we want that stretching tension. There's a lot going on in the QL muscles and the erector spinae muscles along the spine here. So maybe you're tuning in the lower back is a little grumpy this evening. You can always slightly engage the glutes, maybe lift the chest up a little more. It'll take some of that tension out of the lower back. But if you can, I encourage you to welcome and allow that gentle back bend into the lower back. Keep checking in, dragging the chest forward, lifting up. The longer you're here, the more you'll feel that you can draw that chest, the heart center in between the arms, relaxing the shoulders down, really opening through the chest and deepening the stretch in the lower back. Again, legs are about hips width apart, but maybe you need some support back there. You can play with taking your legs out wider, maybe as wide as the mat. Draw the chest forward, lift up, check in, see how that feels. Maybe there's some stuff going on in the shoulders, the neck, you need some support there. You can try to just bring your hands to the center, interlace your hands, giving a little bit more support to lift the chest up, dragging the chest forward, dropping the shoulders down and away. Maybe you're here and you need some support for the head. Maybe you got some neck stuff going on. You can always, forearms here, take some blocks and let the forehead rest on the blocks. Again, keeping that, dragging the chest forward, lifting up, shoulders relaxed down and away. Right? Maybe you need some support for the back or the chest. You can take another rolled up mat, or you can roll up a blanket or two and prop that underneath your forearms. And again, drag chest forward and lift up. Sometimes I find a deeper stretch if I do this. But remember, we're chasing the stretch, but we also want to avoid any sharp shooting pain or discomfort being caused by the stretch. We don't want to do that. So there's several different options you can try out. Try them all, see what works best for you. Because in some of these back classes, we'll be holding our Sphinx pose for 5 minutes, and want to make sure you have lots of options to choose from to help support your body as it changes and builds that flexibility in our stretches this evening. So, all right, that is Sphinx pose. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you in class very, very soon.